Hello cyclocross fans, and welcome back to BehindTheBarriers.tv and a very special welcome to this edition of the Weekend Preview. We are here on site in Boulder, Colorado for the 2014 USA Cycling Cyclocross National Championships. We say it every week that this weekend is going to be a very good weekend, but this coming weekend is guaranteed to unquestionably be the best cyclocross racing of the year. We have elite men, elite women, juniors, U23, and all the amateurs racing for the Stars and Stripes jersey this week. Let's get right to it. Your weather preview. The weather this weekend looks beautiful. 40s, mid-40s, sunshine, freezing overnight, but generally speaking, pretty perfect cyclocross weather. The real weather, though, that matters happened last week. Boulder, Colorado got dumped with about a foot of snow, and if you take a look at any of the photos or the coverage you guys have seen already, a lot of that snow still exists out at the Valmont Bike Park. Not on course, it's all melted, but it is still very muddy, very slick, very slimy out on that course. So they say that by the elite races on Sunday that most of that will have melted away, that it will probably be dry, but based on what I am seeing out there, if not muddy, it definitely looks to be slimy. I would say mud tires are probably going to be the way to go. Let's talk about the course preview. If you guys got a chance earlier in the season to check out our coverage from the Boulder Cup, the course is very similar. I mean, this course is always one of the best courses on the circuit. What they've done to change it now, though, for the national championships, I think makes this the best cyclocross course in North America. It's going to be awesome. Let's talk about some of the features that you guys are already familiar with. First of all, that start stretch. First of all, Valmont Bike Park itself, if you guys are still unfamiliar with it is a purpose-built cycling park. So they have dirt jumps, they have mountain bike trails, and they have a permanent cyclocross course that exists there that people train on and practice on all year long. So they have a very good flat start straight, very flat, very fast, high speed, turns into a sort of a gradual, gradual smooth uphill climb. Then the course gets very technical, especially with the sliminess that's out there right now. There's a lot of off-camber hillside traverses, a lot of pretty scary downhills, some ride-ups / run-ups. Of course, there are the famous stairs there, the 5280 stairs, then there's the Belgian steps, 2 sets of stairs, there's barriers, but all the features, the real defining feature of this course is just the endless number of technical corners. If you picture like a golf course where it's just sort of lumpy grass like this, the corners, they really make good use of that. Credit to Pete Weber and all the guys who went into designing this course, but every corner is set up just at the right sort of terrain to really test the limits of your tires, your tire pressure, and your bike handling skills. So it's going to be a good course. It's going to be a challenging course, obviously, for the amateurs, but also for the professionals. We got a sand pit, we got everything. Stay tuned. We will have a full course preview for you coming up, I think, on Sunday. Let's talk about the start sheet. Again, if you guys haven't already checked out Tuesday's video, the Who's Number One episode, this week was not about rankings, but it was about predictions. I gave you my top 20 picks for the elite men and the elite women. So far, that's looking very good, but let's talk about it one more time. Let's talk about the juniors real quick. We have some of the best juniors we've had in North America, maybe ever, in this class of juniors right now. 2 riders I'm looking at out of New England. We have Peter Gogan and Austin Vincent. They're probably my 2 favorites to do well on this course. They ride well in the technical. They just came back from some good races over in Europe. Maybe one guy looking to play spoiler to that is the Boulder, Colorado local, and that is Max Chance for the Cliff Bar team. He's definitely a serious threat for the podium and could be a very serious threat for that Stars and Stripes jersey if things like the altitude come into play. In your U23 men's race, this one's going to be tough, guys. We have basically the whole Cal Giant team. So we have Yannick Ekman, your defending national champion, Cody Kaiser, a former junior national champion. We have Tobin Ortenblad, and then of course we have Logan Owen. He's your, 7, 8-time consecutive national champion in the junior ranks, makes his debut this year in the U23 field, and the one rider I think more than others that he is going to be going up against is Curtis White, the Cannondale prepared by Cyclocross World rider. He's also a first-year U23. He's been crushing it all season long, been on the podium for U23 races. In those 2, I look for them to have a great, epic battle. Stay tuned. We're going to have coverage from that race as well this weekend. Now, the elite races, like we said, we already covered that in the Who's Number One, but you guys know the names, the favorites. In the women's race, Katie Compton going for her 10th consecutive national championship. Nobody looks even close to standing in her way. She just wrapped up the World Cup. She's beating the world champion. As long as she can stay on her bike, she should take her 10th jersey. We have Georgia Gould here coming out of nowhere late in the season. She should threaten for the podium. Chloe Woodruff, a local from Boulder, also coming out from Tucson now where she lives. She looks very good. And then all the names we've been talking about all season long. Meredith Miller, Elle Anderson looks very good. Crystal Anthony looks very good. Nicole Duke is from here. The men's side. I still feel anxiety when I talk about the men's race. I did my predictions. I predicted Jeremy Powers. I think it will be very close between Jeremy and Tim, but it really is so close. And the way the course is riding right now, the conditions being slimy, it's going to be even closer than ever. So you have those two guys, sort of your favorites all season long. We have Tim and Jeremy. Then we have Ryan Trebone, who just came off a training camp in California. He looks very strong. We have Jamie Driscoll, a guy who also rides really well at the national championships. And then, of course, Jonathan Page, your defending national champion, your 4-time national champion, coming back to the U.S. from Belgium. He's been riding not so great all season long. He hasn't had the best year of his career by any means, but he's one of those guys that he shows up in the U.S. and he's always ready to compete on a high level. The conditions suit him. Anything can happen. Moving on. Your SRAM key to the race. The key to the race, I think for me this weekend, is going to be managing the pressure, staying calm, staying relaxed. It's the national championships. You think about this race all season long. You've been training for this race. You're peaking for this race. But that said, it is still just another bike race. You can't let the pressure get to you. You can't try to do more than you're used to doing. When you get out there, you can't race any harder than you always do. You can't do anything special. A lot of guys, I think, get caught up in just trying to squeeze out that extra half a percentage point to try and be better for this day. And really, they let the nerves get the best of them and they don't perform. That's why when we talk about guys like Jamie Driscoll and these big game players, the guys who really show up when it counts. Katie Compton obviously does that. Logan Owen has a history of doing that. Jamie Driscoll, guys who can handle the pressure. They understand that it's an important race, but they don't let it get the better of them. You look at a guy like Jeremy Powers, where until 2012, he had a number of years there where a lot of people might argue that he should have won the national championships, and for one reason or another, he just wasn't able to close the deal. He's figured that out now. I think he's going to be a favorite, but for maybe some of those younger guys or more inexperienced riders, they have to kind of sit back, relax, and just let nationals happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And when it does happen, you guys are going to be able to watch it right here on BehindTheBarriers.tv live. All day Sunday, we're going to be broadcasting. We're going to bring you your junior race, your elite women, your elite men live. We will also, I believe, have highlights from the U23 race, some of the good amateur races throughout the week. So stay tuned for that all day Sunday, right here, Behind the Barriers TV. Please join us. Go ahead, check below this video. We'll have Twitters, we'll have hashtags, Facebooks, links for where you can watch all the information that you guys will need. But thank you. Thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. This is it. This is the big end of the season party for us here in North America. It's great to see so many of you here in Boulder, to see your Facebook comments and your tweets, and to know that this entire community that just hangs out on this weird corner of the internet all year and talks about bike racing, this is it. This is the big celebration. So thank you for joining us. Make sure to stay tuned on Sunday, and we'll see you there.